Hi everybody, this is Rayon with Oceans for Everyone. Now we're going to talk real quick about multi-beam sonars, all right? Now sonar is a technology that you use to map the seafloor. You send out sound waves, it hits the seafloor, it comes back to your device, and you measure the time it takes for that to happen, and then using that, you can convert that to images, all right? Now with single beam sonar, you get a very narrow bit of data. Now with a multi-beam sonar, you get a really, really wide band of data. This is really cool. It's changed the game. So setting it up is often not as complicated as you might think. You have your device, and then you're going to attach it to either the hull of your boat or a pole that you're going to drop down into the water. Or if you're really fancy, you have an AUV, an autonomous underwater vehicle, and you attach to that and you set it on its way. All right. So once you have the transducer mounted, you're going to connect it to a control unit that is going to handle all the data, the software. All right. And then before you even start to do your surveys, you're going to have to, calibrate the system. You're going to have to put in error controls for like alignment errors when you have a roll for your vessel, or pitch or yaw or something like that. You're going to have to make sure your GPS is working, and then you're going to configure the system. Now with configuring the system, you're gonna have to set your ping rate, your frequency. So your ping rate refers to the frequency with which the system is going to send out pulses. All right. Now with a higher frequency ping rate, you get more detail, but your effective range is decreased. Now with a lower ping rate, you increase the range, but you get less resolution. It just depends on what you're trying to do, where you're doing it, and the detail that you're trying to get. Every application of it is different. You're going to have to adjust your beam angle, wider for broader coverage, narrower for like higher resolution mapping. You're going to have to define your swath width, which is typically 3 to 5, 6, 7 times the water depth. It's actually pretty broad. Then you're going to have to configure your sound velocity profiles. Now that is just a measurement of how the speed of sound changes throughout the depth of the water, which is very important for multi-beam sonar operations, because the sound waves, they're going to bend as they travel through the different layers of the water, the different densities, because of temperature and salinity and things like that. Now, those are the factors that will affect your sound velocity profile, because as the water increases, as the temperature of the water increases, the speed of the sound is going to increase. As the salinity of the water increases, again, the speed of the sound is going to increase. And with water depth increasing, you have water pressure increasing, and the speed of the sound is going to increase. All right. So once you have your SVP, you can move on to the next phase, which is collecting the data. So typically what will happen is that you're going to have a grid or some defined area that you're surveying. All right. So you're going to have to plan how you're going to approach it. You're going to have to maintain a steady speed and avoid too much changes in your heading, because that's going to cause distortions. Typically what we'll do is we'll already have a set speed that the scientists say they want before we enter the survey area. So say you're going into a box, you're going to make a big loop, and you're going to come around and make sure that you're dead on the track that you want to be on, that you have your however many knots of speed that you want, and then you just boom, by the time you hit the survey area, you already have everything you want. You just go and you collect the data. All right. So then you're going to, while they're collecting the data, you're going to make adjustments, fine-tune adjustments for like, gain, power, filters, just to make sure you're getting the best clarity as possible. All right. So after you do all of that, you do a few more corrections. Then you pretty much at the point of just generating a map, a 3D model using the software. Then you interpret it, and then you put it in your database and you go again. All right. Multi-beam sonars are really cool. It's really changed the game in research, and there's so many different ways to do it, and the amount of data that you're getting as opposed to regular single beam sonar is just immense. So yep, multi-beam sonar.